The City of Soundsville is the name of this podcast, and as always, I am your host, Shadowstreak, and joined by me is...
Scrappy-Doo, puppy power.
Oh god, no one likes Scrappy. Why would you say that?
There are Scrappy likers out there.
No.
Remember, this is the internet, so anything that's rightly considered bad, there's one defender of it. For whatever
Contrarians, they don't actually care, they just want to be different.
It's very
That's
contrarian.
A lie. They're lying. They're lying. They're wrong. They're lying.
They are wrong.
Yep, they are. They're lying. They're wrong.
Oh.
Invalid.
I think so too. I agree with you. We're on the same page.
How are you, RJ? How are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm excited for this episode.
Yeah?
Yeah.
My
life pretty much revolves around it, so, you know. More or less.
Valid. So, tell me, do you have any news that you wish to share with us this week?
No news, except I just saw Bandai made some more Powerpuff stuff in Japan.
Oh, like what?
Just more merch. I believe they made some figurines that are kind of off model, but that's all right. And they made some keychains. I think the most interesting one is they have one of the hotline. Here, I'll send you one. Yeah.
That's nifty, I guess.
That's nifty.
That's nifty, I suppose.
Yeah, once again, like we just talked about this on the last episode. Like they released all this merchandise maybe 10 more years ago. 10 years ago, I would buy all of it. It's not that I'm not less interested in the show. I'm just less interested in buying trinkets, essentially.
Yeah, I get that. I'm also kind of in the same boat where I don't really collect a whole lot of merch stuff for a lot of things. Like I've said it on the podcast before. I think the only thing I really collect is I collect games.
Yeah, the video games.
And I collect Legos, but because I can actually use those things, I enjoy the act of building a Lego set and then displaying it. You can actually build it, and then a video game obviously you can play. I will collect things that are I have an actual recreational use out of. They don't just sit on a shelf or something, Not that a keychain. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a keychain or anything. I had a keychain on my actual keys, so yeah, that's what a keychain's for. Nothing wrong with that. But I don't go out of my way to collect keychains or anything. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. I'm not trying to sit here. I don't want to come across as though I'm shaming that or no. I have no.
That's why I said that. I don't want to sound like
I just don't have an interest in it. That's all.
You losers could buy that, but I'm too cool. We'll just talk about episodes for 2 hours.
Right.
But yeah. I'm glad it's out there. Nice to see it.
You are cool, RJ. You're very cool.
Which one? Am I cool or not cool? Well, I said I wanted a keychain with the Powerpuff Hotline, so I think that answers that question. I am very cool. So yeah, I'm satisfied with that.
Okay.
Do you have anything to share?
I'm glad
ready
to hear
the
that.
episode?
No, I think we can go ahead and just dive right in. So this is the last episode of season 2 that we're going to be talking about. So we're already done with season 2. We're about to jump into season 3 with the next one after this. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. This week, we're going to be talking about Season 2, Episode 13, consisting of Something's Amiss and Slumbering With The Enemy. Another one of the probably most praised pairings of the entire show, and rightfully so. The first of these 2 episodes, of course, being Something's Amiss. In this episode, Ms. Bellum seemingly is acting very strange, seemingly seducing the mayor into getting a bunch of time off. And then subsequently contacting the Powerpuff Girls because the bank has been robbed or the jewelry store has been robbed, etc., etc. As it turns out, spoiler alert for a 20-something-year-old episode, Ms. Bellum is actually Sedusa disguised as Ms. Bellum. She's captured the real Ms. Bellum and is holding her hostage at her own home. And the Powerpuff Girls have to go rescue her, and they end up fighting and losing, and then Bellum ends up beating Sedusa all on her own, and then the girls help her at the very, very end. Really good episode. One of the best episodes of the season. Definitely Sedusa's best episode, as well as I would say probably Bellum's best episode as well. It's just a great episode all around. It's super well established in the beginning. The way the story is just structured overall is really well thought out. It's very meticulous, very very creative, and ultimately, like, it really leads to just a satisfying story from beginning to end with like a somewhat of a twist reveal. Maybe more so for a first time viewer than obviously someone like us, where we've seen this episode so many times that, like, it seems obvious. But maybe for a first time viewer, it's a pretty interesting twist. And yeah, just an all around really cool fight scene. And it really demonstrates why Ms. Bellum is as great of a character as she is.
Yeah, and you know what? It's now that I'm thinking about the twist, I guess obviously, yeah, the twist isn't new to me at all, but because it's not Mojo or something, Sedusa only showed up once, so I would actually be shocked by this probably if I was watching it the first time.
Yeah, same here.
Because
Absolutely.
she hasn't showed up since early season 1.
Yeah, the very first episode pairing with Insect Inside and
Yeah. Because I remember Mommy Theorist, I liked the story.
No, sorry. Monkey See and Mommy Theorist, excuse me.
Right.
Insect
Yeah,
Inside
the first
with,
one aired.
Powerpuff Bluff. Yeah, the first one aired, not the first one produced.
And yeah, I liked Mommy Theorist, but like, I also remember when we were doing that, I was like, this was very early season 1. Like like the earliest. So that the episode wasn't as good as it. Let's say this, I wouldn't have enjoyed it as much as I would if it came later. Because there was some interesting art direction in there. I liked some of the suspense, and the story was good. I liked the relationship between the professor and the girls, but like, I don't know. The humor wasn't there, like the character interplay isn't there just because it's early. I thought it's like melodramatic, but like almost, I don't know. Something about it, like the tone of it is a little off, but like just because it's a very early episode. But this one,
this
definitely. One I love. When I keep talking about like season 3 and like the last half of season 2 being the high bar, like creatively, like a lot of the times this is the one I'm talking about, really. Just a cool episode, and one that holds up in like the story is good. The story is good, and there's a lot of good humor in it with all of the characters. There's and the art direction is great in this one, because some of the episodes hold up on like certain levels, right? So like we just did Mojo Johnson, right? Like that's just like that's a really funny one. That was a cool one, but like some of them, the art is just like serviceable, right?
Yeah.
But this is the one. This is one where like it holds up in every way.
I agree. Definitely like a lot of the different shots and compositions and everything like that. I think it's a really great episode. Lots of cool staging and blocking moments, especially the way characters are positioned on screen. Whether it's the obvious call or reference to the Big Lebowski with the mayor sitting by the fireplace, or it's the fight scene between Sedusa and Bellum. There's a lot of great angles during that combat and between the two of them fighting. That's just really interesting with the perspective that they decide to give us. Yes, exactly. It's really at its peak there, without question.
Right. Yeah, just even like the angle of the girl's room. It's not even an action scene. Just all of it's very creative. Yeah. Now that this really is the only Miss Bellum episode, in a way.
But she is prominent in some episodes.
She's prominent,
more so than others. Because like for example, like I think of like Hot Air Buffoon. She's very. I mean, yeah, sure. The mayor's like the main character, but she's there the whole time. Another one that I think of is she's not there the whole time in equal fights, but I would say her moment is the most important moment of the entire episode.
Well, if you're talking about important moments, she's important in quite a few of them. But
yeah.
She shows up in like just a few minutes, like maybe like what 2 or 3 minutes of the Rowdy Rough Boys, but like she's a very key part of that.
Yeah, and that's another one. And obviously she has an important part of in Peach Fuzz as well.
Yeah,
so even though she's not the main character, I mean.
In season 5 and 6, they should have done more Miss Bellum plots instead of the mayor like turning into a giant baby.
Yeah, but mayor want toast.
Mayor want toast. I understand you want toast, but like I want Bellum instead.
Well, we can't always get what we want, RJ.
No, yeah, and I enjoy Jennifer Martin's performances too. Yeah,
of course.
Like I don't even know what to begin with this one. I mean, obviously, yeah, it's a lot of references to the Big Lebowski. Did you see that movie?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah. So very.
Of course, I basically had to out of obligation, just so
I had to out
I
of obligation
understand all the
to
references. But it's a fun movie.
It's a very fun movie. So for this show, like obligation is I had to see the '60s Batman and the Big Lebowski. Which they're good things to watch. It's obviously a cult movie for a reason. And yeah, the funny thing is like Craig loved this movie, but like he was kind of obsessed with the dude. I think dudism was kind of a religion of sorts because of the movie, and I'm pretty sure Craig subscribed to dudism for a second.
Yeah, I believe it.
So there's a book, I believe it's called I'm a Lebowski, You're a Lebowski, and Craig actually did an interview for it. So, he talked about like, doing some of the episodes. That's what I need to dig it up because I used to have access to it. I think it was on archive.org. I should just buy and purchase the actual book. But yeah, I should get on that. But like he did a little interview, That's where I learned he was very obsessed with the dude. And yeah, he talked about shoving cameos and like, cameos to the film, but like he loved the film, he was just like it's like a big cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
So he really saw it as like very cartoony and fun, and like actually he's in general I would say he's a big Coen's brothers fan because he actually states it as like an influence on the show, Sam Raimi and the Coen brothers, which you could actually see, and there's an episode in season 2 called Headsucker's Moxie. So
yep,
season 3, so big fan of that, but like especially this one, And yeah, he said he used to try dressing like the dude, and he'd go around the studio like, pretty much wearing dude-like clothing, which like, the dude is kind of a trashy dresser. So he's like, once my girlfriend came into the picture, I kind of had to relax with that. So I think Lauren kind of made him stop with the dudism a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
He had to neaten up because the dude is not neat. But yeah. Very funny. But like, the funny thing is I think like Craig probably could like be like could do an accurate cosplay of the dude, honestly.
Oh yeah, 100%. He's got the hair for it.
It was like the movie was kind of like made for him, I guess. And obviously, like just another incident. The movie's obviously funny too because like it's fun to see John Goodman do a role like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because he doesn't usually get to do that. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
well, the other thing too that's really interesting about it in this episode in particular is the fact that like at the time that this episode would have been like released, like the movie was like a year old. Like this wasn't like something that like was already in pop culture, like the Star Wars references or the music references or anything like that. Like this was something like fresh, like recent. This is like this show is not on the same level as something like, The Simpsons or South Park or whatever. But like this feels like that sort of way of referencing something current as opposed to like something that's kind of already established itself. Like I think at this point, like within the first, couple years, like you had no idea of knowing if the Big Lebowski would be remembered or anything like that. And I mean, now that we're decades away, it's like, but again, you're right. He didn't care, but like, it's just interesting because like between this and Pokemon, and I mean, obviously there's other references that come up here soon in the next season, but it's very interesting to see the show include modern references when the majority of season 1 was only referencing things from like a decade or older.
That's the thing. Somebody had a very interesting point. Somebody on a blog years ago was something like the cameos that they put in for fun, and like they just happened to get lucky. Like everything that they put into the show just aged well. Like all their references are kind of current. Like Hatara, Hope, Pokemon. This like, and they weren't doing it to be current or like to really be hip or whatever. They were just really in there to amuse the show staff. And it just happened, all happened to age well. And by the way, of course, we've seen this several times before we saw The Big Lebowski, so you don't need to watch it to get it.
No, not at all. I mean, in the context of the show itself, the scene is just immaculate. I mean, it works. It really makes the mayor, it shows a vulnerable side of the mayor that you don't really like expect in the way, like you expect the mayor to be goofy and silly or whatever, but to actually see him be like serious about the loss of Bellum and like how important she actually is to him. It's sweet. It's touching.
And he gives her the credit.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, and it's like, that's awesome.
And I just,
the credit she rightfully deserves.
Right. And I love the strong men also cry. Strong men also cry.
I just received this fax.
Yeah. That's right. The mayor does a commentary on this. I believe, I guess they did it for the main event DVD.
Yes.
You could get it on a few of the DVD sets. I believe it's on
I was saving that, but all right, we'll go into it. So yes, so basically on the DVD box sets there's some bonus features, and with this episode pairing in particular, we get commentaries provided by Tom Kenny as the mayor and then Roger L. Jackson as Mojo for the next episode, where they actually commentate over it, and it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. I prefer the Mojo one just because Mojo's always funny to listen to, and the way he kind of responds. But the Mayor one's good too. Absolutely.
What made Mojo's interesting is like you could kind of see like Roger L. Jackson is like a film geek sort of, and you could kind of see him as like it's like, oh, I like the shot here, but somehow also in character. Yeah. But
my favorite moments when the professor's like walking down the stairs and he's like, oh, we're wasting valuable screen time.
It's like, okay, I get it already.
They really need to include this. We get it. Yeah. Oh
he's
man,
like,
he was
like this shot right here. It's like the Matrix.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty amusing. But both commentaries are fun, so I definitely recommend everybody check it out.
Jokes I like from that commentary. Which is like the thing is like I think in-character commentaries, once again, like a lost art, kind of like commentaries, but even more so because
I agree.
And a lot of them in-character commentaries are sort of a mixed bag, and a lot of times it depends on the actors, the actor's entrance. But like Tom Kenny and Roger L. Jackson, they're probably going to create some pretty entertaining character commentaries because of their commitment to comedy and their characters.
Yep.
Yeah, the Mayor. There's a few I actually like in the Mayor. Like, I think he gets mad at Bubbles for putting his underwear on string. He's like, how come they don't show the professor's underwear on this show? Why does it have to be me?
Yeah.
And by far my favorite thing was when they're using scissors to cut the Seduce's hair. She's like, no, don't stab her with the scissors. Even the Mayor can't get you out of a charge like that. It's so stupid. I love it.
It really is, but yeah, I love it too.
Oh my gosh, it's like we're kind of dodging talking about the episode because there's so much here.
Well, it's like I definitely think there's a lot to discuss.
The intro is one of my favorite narrator intros of all time.
The city of Townsville.
The setting of
the CD of Townsville. The pretty of Townsville. The pity of Townsville. Yeah, it's pretty great.
he thinks the record scratch.
This newfangled techno music is dope.
Ooh,
he put a CD on a record player. Like, oh my god, no one talks about that joke enough.
It's such a funny joke.
It is. It's like that's literally the Mayor not knowing how technology works. Like back in 1999, like
they did a good replication of
funny.
Like CD shining, like the shining. Yeah. Pretty good.
But it's so amusing. I definitely love the intro, and like it sounds terrible, and then the Mayor's just sitting there snapping his fingers like, man, this new age techno music is dope. Like, how do you do, fellow kids?
Yeah, and I just like I do like Miss Bellum sits down and like Mayor's just not catching on. Like she's clearing her throat. A glass of water will clear that right up.
Yeah.
And like he's kind of he kind of does some heinous things in this episode, which is just sort of funny. Like, so like honestly, like he falls in love with Miss Bellum in this. He thinks they're having an affair. He's pretty on board with this, and like once she doesn't show up, he's gonna fire
that
her.
Woman is so fired.
Is so fired.
Yeah,
just like he's quite a terrible loser in this one.
Yeah,
and I don't think we hear this before, but like Miss Bellum has her jazzy theme because it's really Sedusa.
Yeah. Which, like, honestly, like, I do like the music. It's very well made.
I like
just
it too.
Throughout the entire episode. I love the kind of, like, it's almost like noir-esque.
Yes,
yes,
of course.
Like, the saxophone is very prominent in it, especially. And it's just, yeah, I love that kind of, like, jazzy noir type vibe. Like, that atmosphere is just so, like, there's something soothing about it.
Sedusa and those seductress types usually go back to film noir kind of.
Yeah, because it's like the femme fatale.
Yeah, the femme fatale.
Archetype.
Not to be confused with the other one.
Not to be confused with, a season 3 character. We'll get there.
Yeah. And there's the heinous line, back for seconds, Miss Bellum.
Dude, I don't know how they got away with this stuff. I mean, I know everyone has said this. I have a more
intelligent conversation about this one that wasn't, how did they get away with it? But like, this is one of the canon, right?
But like, yeah, you seriously have to sit there and yes, especially with the way it's drawn. It's like, how did an executive or somebody, how did people look at this and approve this for television?
Yeah.
Like, seriously. Did someone get in trouble for it though? Like
I mean, they weren't talking about specific episodes, but I remember Lindsay Semensky like saying like sometimes we would let them get away with stuff, and sometimes I would get talked to about it. Obviously, the only one she really got in trouble for was Dexter's Lab root removal.
Yeah. That one was just so blatantly obvious, like it's in your face, like. This stuff, but like, honestly, like, I don't know how you, like, obviously, as a kid, I never noticed any of this stuff, but like, as an adult, like, if I'm a parent watching this with my kid, I'd be like, yo, what? Why are they showing this? Like,
it's insane, yeah.
It is insane. Like, I understand that, like, parents can be stupid about, their children being exposed to stuff, but like, I'm more just like, how, it's just so, like,
that's the
how do you not see it? I don't know.
The funny thing with like parental standards is like, I've watched the show as a kid and as an adult, but like I haven't watched it with my kids as a parent because I don't have children at this moment. And so like,
right.
Like I never had to think about it from a parent's perspective, but like sometimes I do think like if a parent wanted to complain about this or curb their kids from watching it, like sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I would blame them necessarily. Because like, obviously you want to believe all the times, like, like it doesn't really matter, but like, I don't know if I would show like someone at least younger than maybe 7 this show. Which is probably.
I mean, I started watching the show when I was like 3. So.
Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of preschoolers watched it and it didn't corrupt them, but like sometimes if somebody really did complain, I was like, yeah, I guess you have a point there. It's entertaining to me though, the adult cartoon fan.
Yep.
But yeah, that pencil scene, like that's probably the most Rizik, like, joke that they put in the show.
Yeah. Jeez. I mean, it's just visually obvious.
Could you imagine being at like the storyboard pitch for this episode?
I have no idea what that would be like.
Gosh, just the storyboard pitches for some of these, I really wonder what some of these were like. How do you pitch Professor eating a pea?
That's a great question.
I would really like. I wish, because they record some storyboard pitches, but even though they might be fake ones, I'm not sure. I think maybe some of the Samurai Jack ones are real. Because when they had the DVD special features on storyboard pitches, a lot of those are fake. Like I'm sure some of the SpongeBob ones are like, they just told the storyboard guys to do it again. But I think some of the Samurai Jack ones are real. I wish they had some of the Powerpuff ones. So I only remember a timing director on the show, Robert Alvarez, saying like, some of the guys who did storyboards are really funny. And, it would be really fun to do board pitches for the show. Like, oh gosh, if only I could be a fly on the wall on that.
Man, if only we would have gone back 25 years in the past and recorded everything.
Yeah, right? We would have did the podcast. That's what we would do with time travel. We would go back and look at them produce episodes.
We'd go back and we'd work our way into the show staff and become members to work on the show. And we'd already know how to make the episodes because we've seen them.
It's like, guys, I have an idea. Instead of making him into a giant who wants toast, let's do a Miss Bellum episode.
Yeah, here's another idea. Let's get rid of the episode where their uncle comes to town and the girls are stupid and don't recognize the difference between a Sasquatch and a man. Let's just get rid of that entirely.
I guess that really is the only one where they're like that stupid, right? Because usually the rest of the town is
one of them. Yeah, but it's just so blatantly like dumb. It's like, let's not do that. Let's make Deja Vu instead. Let's actually make the episode. That's what all the fans will want, guys. Like, trust me. I just have this sneaking suspicion that if we don't make it, that these people will never be happy and they'll complain about it for decades on end over the internet, that it was never made into an episode. I just get this weird feeling that might happen. You guys should trust me on this.
Trust me, guys. I know. Yeah, that's to say. So another comment I have to make about Miss Bellum. The funny thing about Miss Bellum is, like aspect ratios have changed. So like every time you see Miss Bellum on screen now, and for generations to come, we'll see her like weird freakish neck, and she looks like a poodle in a lot of shots.
Yes. Yeah.
Cause I do see comments about that. Like Miss Bellum has a long neck. It's like we weren't supposed to see this, but so very interesting. So I'm seeing a few shots now where she's like, oh, it's Poodle Bellum.
Yeah, I mean they just did that to basically keep her head off screen at all times. So there's some weird ones where it doesn't look quite right, but it's, like you said, it was TV pictures at the time were different aspect ratios and quality and all that, to where it wasn't meant to be viewed the way we can see it now digitally.
Yeah. So we see Miss Bellum's home, which is that's a very nice shot. And
the address is kind of interesting. Yeah.
Which, sheesh, come on, guys.
Like I said, they were not subtle. They weren't. They didn't even try. Like,
were those terms even mainstream at that point?
I don't know. I wouldn't know. I was 3.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I would hope you wouldn't know. Sheesh. Oh, Wing Attack Plan R is apparently is a reference to Dr.
Is it a reference? Oh.
I didn't know that. Very interesting.
I may have heard it before, but I forgot, so you reminded me. Or maybe I didn't hear it before. Either way.
Yeah, but very cool. Very good painting. And I love Bubbles taking commands like, Blossom Roger. I mean, Roger Blossom. I really, it's a very fun scene, like, very good character stuff where the girls see through Seduce's plan.
Mm-hmm.
See, even
one thing I really like that's like, it's a subtle thing, but it's like, if you know Miss Bellum's character and you know her mannerisms in all other shows, it's a dead giveaway with the way she reacts when the girls arrive on the scene and she's over dramatic and crying. And she's like, I'm sorry. Like, Miss Bellum doesn't act
there's something
that way.
off for sure, yeah. Because she doesn't,
like,
it's not like that, yeah.
No, she doesn't. And it's like, to an astute observer who's paying attention, you would be able to pick up on that, that, like, Miss Bellum doesn't get emotional in this way a lot of, like, hardly at all. Like, she's usually very well composed. No, I mean, that's obvious, but I'm talking, like, in terms of the way she interacts with the girls, too. It's like, Miss Bellum never loses her composure like that. Like, she's always, not mature. Mature is not the right word, but she's always composed. She's always, she's got her head on straight, and it's like, usually the mayor's the one that has the ridiculous emotional outburst, whether it be anger or fear or what have you. Miss Bellum doesn't act that way. She's the adult, the mayor's the child, and she's, to see her doing that, and just crying in front of the girls, like, I'm sorry, whatever. It's like, that's like a, and it's like, I appreciate that they have Sedusa portray this character this way. And I talk about this in my video, which, by the way, at the time we're recording this, my video was released 8 hours ago. So that's exciting. So the season 2 video is coming out on the day that we're recording the last episode of season 2's podcast. But anyway, not to be too meta.
Not to be too meta.
I mentioned this in my video a little bit, but, well, yeah, but also, like, I'm one of the podcast hosts on this. Like, I can do that. You can advertise your stuff too. That's totally fine.
Well, I've
advertised that video in, like,
I'm having a barbecue on November 5th if anybody wants to come.
All right. Well, this podcast episode comes out in April of 2026.
Well, I'm sorry you guys missed it. It was fun.
Sorry, guys. You're not gonna make it. I'm sorry. Am I invited at least? Can I come?
No.
Oh.
You need to work on. You need to work on season 3, man.
Oh.
Yeah,
Man.
I think so, man. You don't need any burgers.
I just got swipe or no swiping.
Yep, man. No burgers for you.
Dang.
And they have Chemical X in them too.
Oh boy. Yo, will I'd do anything for some Chemical X right about now.
I believe I pitched that as like that's how this podcast starts. Like, like the kid just said, I'd do anything for some Chemical X right about now, and the podcast starts. But I don't know if a kid hurting for drugs should start off every episode. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the intro we use is fine, but
even though it's not like it's a ton of action with like the Seduce and the girls. I mean, the real action is with her and Miss Bellum, but like,
yeah,
just the cutting and the like the cutting of just like her getting Bubbles shoving her to the wall is just very well done. And I love her.
Yep.
I love the theme.
Oh yeah, the instrumentation's like phenomenal.
Yeah, because I mean, like, she doesn't have as consistent a theme as Because she had some music that was like, you could tell it was Sedusa themed and Mommy Furious, but I don't know. I guess this is the closest thing we get to a theme.
Yeah, I mean, she has a theme in the Chemical Extraction video game, but I don't know that song I think is the only song in that video game that's never used in the show.
Yeah, a lot of times I wonder, is like, where did that come from? It's a good track.
Yeah, I don't know if it was made for the show and they just never used it, because like all the other songs in that game are from the show, or it was custom made for her because she didn't have one. I don't know, but like she has albeit a short song, she has a song play in Mommy Fierist when the gems are revealed, like when the bag rips open. Like there is a song that plays there, and then obviously there's the songs that, you know, play throughout this episode, whether it's again the noir stuff or it's, you know, during the fight scenes. But yeah, I don't really know the story behind that song choice in that game or anything, but it is very interesting.
She just has like themes or motifs. Well, I shouldn't say motifs. I'm not sure if I'm using that correctly. But they have themes. I mean, I suppose not all the villains have themes. I would guess.
Yeah, but like all the main ones do. Like even the Amoeba Boys, who only show up in one more episode than Sedusa does, have a theme. You know.
Yeah, Fuzzy doesn't really have a theme. He has certain instruments.
He's got the banjo riff.
Yeah, but he doesn't have a specific theme like Mojo or Green Gang does.
I guess, but when I do think of Fuzzy, I mean, I do think of the banjo riff.
Sure. And I mean, like, you know, they have similar instrumentation for Sedusa. It's just like, you know, but like, she doesn't need more appearances. I don't know if they planned for her to have more appearances or they just couldn't come up with anything.
No, see, I disagree. I think she could have had one more, and I talk about this in my video, which is what I was getting to, is that I do think there could have been one more episode with her.
Oh, so you wanted
that played more
jail?
No. What I want, hear me out. In this episode, it's not the main like focal point of like what her scheme could be, but she fails to impersonate Bellum's actual personality. I think it would be a great episode where she donned the disguise of somebody else again, but they basically can figure out and make it a detective story or something, right? Where something's off or whatever, and like the girls are trying to solve a case, right? And Sedusa, while she has the physical appearance of a character or characters, she can't replicate their behaviors because she hasn't observed them. You know, like with Ms. Bellum, like she doesn't know Bellum enough to actually be able to impersonate her when it comes to her actions and language and things like that. I think they could have done a detective episode where the girls are trying to figure something out, right? And like Seduce is throwing all these red herrings or whatever, but like they're able to basically deduce another storyline where, because like it's not directly the sort of the situation that the episode goes for. It's just kind of like a side effect, or like it's a side thing, but like with the girls and their ability to like sniff out that it's Seduce and everything like that, you know, the episode tells the girls, like the facts note says from Sedusa. So like there is no investigation or, you know, actual, like the girls sit in the room and they're like, who could it be? Could it be this person or that person? They're like, no. But like they never actually do like an actual, like they could have done a detective episode.
There's really no time for it.
You know what I mean? Like a private eye episode where they're trying to solve a case or crime. Seduce is the one behind it. And the ultimate thing that gives it away is that when they're investigating, or like if they're interviewing people or investigating or whatever, when they investigate whoever Seduce is pretending to be, like they catch on that she's not behaving the way this person would be. Whether that was, you know, I'm not saying do Bellum again, maybe do Keen, you know, for example, would be a character, or introduce other characters or something. I don't know. But like, I definitely feel that there's an idea there that this show could have absolutely done.
Well, let's get this out of the way. Miss Keen is more evil than Seduce will ever be.
She is. Miss Keen's awful. Season 2 completely convinced me that Miss Keen's actually the villain.
Yeah.
Because in so many episodes this season, I never really thought about it too much. Like there were episodes where it's like, I don't agree with that. You know, but really watching this season and us talking about it and me doing my video, I realized Miss Keen is the villain. Like she's awful to these kids. She's terrible to them. Like, she literally chooses to prioritize juvenile delinquents that just showed up that morning over these innocent girls that have never done anything basically wrong.
And the rest of the
or at least out of character to the way that they're seemingly coming across coincidentally on the same day that these 10-year older students show up who are delinquents who are skipping school. Like, literally the truant officer goes to her door and says, yo, these guys weren't in school. They're in school now. Like, Miss Keene, you know what a truant officer is. You're a teacher. Like, you know that these kids aren't exactly the brightest bunch. Come on. And we already ranted about daylight saving, so we won't go there.
Well, you ranted about it.
And I mean, the way she just like torments Mike, it's like, oh my God. Anyway. Miss Keene's the villain, is the moral of this story. So she's actually the bad guy. Him is actually just a ploy by Keene. Keene has him and Mojo running around so that she can actually be the real evil one, tormenting the girls at school every day. That's my headcanon.
The girls trust her. So.
You're welcome.
See?
Exactly. That's why Mojo is the fall guy.
You wouldn't get this on the other thousands of Powerpuff Girls podcasts out there.
You certainly wouldn't.
Would not.
And that's why we're the best, baby.
We're the best. And the show's artists are having some fun with Sedusa in this scene with her and the girls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She throws stuff at Blossom.
She does.
And
she does do that
on her legs. So yeah. I mean, like you could, if somebody had criticism, this is kind of a sweaty episode of television, but not sweaty in it's not good way, but if you're bothered by that, just a warning.
Uh-oh.
But I assume you've already seen it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, obviously it's very fun to see Miss Bellum fight. That shot of her her out the window is amazing.
Yes, the freeze frame and everything's great. And dude, that kick to the gut, oof.
Yes, yeah, that hurts, right?
I feel that one every time.
Like they're really scrapping. Yeah, this is a very classic Hollywood fight.
Yeah, given that it takes place in the Hollywood Hills, or, at least Townsville's version of it.
Right.
I see what you did there, RJ.
I don't know what I did.
You said it's a very Hollywood fight, but also Bellum's home is in, the Hollywood Hills of Townsville.
I never even
If Townsville were modeled after L.A.
Yeah, one thing in the commentary where, the mayor's just like, I'm not sure how she bought this with the stuff I pay her. He's like, we're going to have to talk about that. It's just the mayor just...
Well, given that she didn't even get her paychecks until 10 years later when the mayor dug them up.
Oh, that's right. In the private room.
That was a deep cut reference. Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, in case you guys haven't seen that. Yeah, so, once again, all the backgrounds in Miss Bellum's house they're minimal, but they're very beautiful.
Yes.
Just from the color even to the painting technique. Like that shot of she's getting her haircut and they pan out to the city. A lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
Like little golden books, but it's more modern. And there's even some detail. There's stars twinkling in it. Just a detail I didn't even notice until recently. And then so they get rid of Sedusa and she just doesn't show up for most of the series run until season 5 or 6.
6.
6, yeah, so until season 6.
Yep, so she'll be gone she shows up in a couple just quick shots, she's in See Me, Feel Me, Know Me for a brief second. Which episode is it where they do the villains all at the very beginning of the episode? Really just rapid fire. I can't remember which episode that is. There's one episode in particular, I believe it's in season 3, where it... Yeah.
That's one frame.
Maybe? I think it's that one, yeah. Because they basically just quick montage between a bunch... the Rowdy Rough Boys show up in a shot there, too.
Yeah, that's Bond and Scold, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I knew it was season 3.
Yeah, and we didn't even bring up Jennifer Hale. Obviously, very fun to seduce it. Mostly just if you have a character that needs to scream a bunch, then get Jennifer.
Get Jennifer Hale to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, I don't like seduce as much as a princess, but this is. I guess the show doesn't really start using princess that much yet. But no, never mind, because more job they do. But
yeah.
But very fun.
And
you broke my hair is a very fun line reading. It's Seduce is a little crazy.
A little bit. Just a smidge.
Yeah, but you're talking about the mystery element and all that, but this episode very cleverly shoves a lot of content into 11 minutes without making you feel shortchanged by it.
I agree with that.
Story for an 11-minute episode.
It is.
I mean, like
it is.
pretty much most of the good episodes of the show do that.
Yeah, but it's still well paced.
It is well paced. Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it's too fast or slow or anything.
like some guy on the internet a few years ago said, Marvel movies need 3 hours to accomplish what the Powerpuff Girls did in 11 minutes.
There you go.
Yeah, that was like a viral tweet a few years back. Some people laughed and some people were actually mad about it. No, I believe that's what like the legendary comment. Have you ever seen that? Some guy was so incensed by that comment. He's just like, yeah, but like Superman is Superman is a real superhero. And like people were getting on me. He's like, Superman isn't real either.
I feel like I maybe heard about that before. Maybe even
just
from
very
you.
funny.
I don't remember.
Very, very funny. I believe Amy Keating Rogers saw that and retweeted it too. Very fun. And it's true. I believe that. It's not a joke to me. I agree with that. Mostly out of apathy for Marvel. But yeah, I do love the ending joke. Like the mayor's so down bad, as the kids say, that he went to he doesn't even care that, you know, he's actually kind of disappointed that he wasn't having, you know, a affair with Miss Bellum and cheating on his wife. But you know, he's just like, oh well, you know, I'll go visit Sedusa in jail, and they all just stare at him.
Visiting hours are almost up.
Yeah, he's just a huge disappointment in this episode.
Yeah.
And it's very funny. She doesn't even like bother getting mad at the mayor in this one, because like season 1, like Powerpuff Bluff, she's like, oh my god, mayor. It's like, what an idiot. She's like she's basically at this point she's just talking to him like a little kid. Like, for the last time, mayor, like, you know, it was Sedusa dressed up as me. She's not even mad that her boss is being inappropriate.
Yeah. Not to mention the fact that like the mayor's just completely oblivious to that, and he's like, "Oh well, I'll just go see her then."
I'll see her then.
Like,
yeah,
not realizing that she was playing him.
Yeah, he does not care that he was being played.
Nope, doesn't even realize it.
Yeah, so this was just a very satisfying one.
Yeah, through and through, definitely one of the best of the season.
Another quote that sticks with me is like, I like Buttercup saying, "That's a bummer, man."
Yeah.
You know, just a lot of fun. And Bubbles Us, they're that's right. I totally forgot about this scene. I have to bring that up. When they're in their room going through who could it be. And once again, like, this is kind of the show playing with the fact that like you know, you're really kind of racking your brain for this because Sedusa has only shown up once. Like, she's not like she's not a villain that shows up all the time. So you really have to think about who could it be. And I just like how casual it is. She's like, Mojo Jojo's like, it's too well thought out. And Buttercup's like, true. She's like, gang juvie. And Buttercup's like, oh, yeah. It's just like a casual conversation between them, sort of. And yeah, Bubbles turns out Fuzzy Lumpkins. I love that. That's like, that's, again, another one of my favorite scenes between the three of them.
Yeah.
Just very natural. I like it. But yeah, that's about all I have to say about this one.
Yep. Same here. I think that pretty much wraps it up. So we can move on to the second half of the final pairing with Slumbering with the Enemy. In this episode, Mojo Jojo dresses up as a young girl to pretend to be one of the Powerpuff Girls' friends and sneak into their sleepover, where they proceed to play sleepover activities all night long. And then once the girls have finally let their guard down, Mojo goes down to the lab, grabs some Antidote X, and takes away their powers, mocking all of the normal little girls and telling them that he's finally won, and then they proceed to beat him up. The end.
Oh, nice. Snappy.
Yeah. I mean, this one's a much simpler premise. You know, it's mostly just like Mojo dresses up as a girl, goes to the house, a bunch of different activities take place, and yeah. It's a very simple episode, but it's super entertaining.
Yeah, it's super entertaining. Like, it's no slouch at all. A more kid-friendly episode of the two, but it is no slouch. Yeah, it starts with like a completely visual sequence. I mean, I could see somebody could probably argue that it goes on too long. But, you know, episode is really fun when it, you know, by the time Mojisha gets to the house. And yeah, I guess. Yeah,
oh boy.
Sort of rediscovered this episode like a few years back. And I remember, yeah, somebody's just like, you know, like, I don't really feel bad that Mojo got his ass beat so much because I would have beat his ass too if he came to my house saying he was Mojisha. So like, there's a lot of people, just a lot of clips being shared of that episode, you know, very funny. Yeah, Moesha, I guess, was probably still creating new episodes at this time. You probably haven't seen Moesha because it's probably ended in the early 2000s. But yeah, UPN sitcom with a fun theme song starring the singer Brandy. And, like
Mhm.
to the eat to the. I'm not gonna sing it for everybody's sake here, but I like the theme song. But yeah, they just. I really wonder how because they're probably singing the writers' room. What's Mojo's girl name? And I really wonder who's the person who said, "How about Mojisha?" Which is like, oh my gosh. And yeah, we were just talking about people in Townsville being idiots or the girls being idiots. Of course, like the girls immediately see through the disguise, but like everybody else in the show could be really stupid, even the professor. And what's like what enhances the comedy is Mojo was doing a little girl's voice, which like
Yeah.
it's not like a brand new thing in comedy, but like I don't for
Who does Mojo
really
think
funny
he's
when
kidding?
Mojo does it.
Hi, Mojisha.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, Butter's like, okay.
Okay.
Because they're just
Yeah,
it's
that's
like
pretty
what do you
great.
think he's hitting, and I love like so he's like it's like one of the ultimate Mojo plots because like it's kind of a good plan. It's just really stupid. You have to be really stupid to commit to something like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like make tea that's like that's just actually just good tea. Like sheesh. He's like I love it. It's like what did you think it was? Poison? He does his stupid laugh, and Blossom's like yeah. And that's in the commentary that's Measure says a shot is like the Matrix.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And yes,
Yeah, overall I find this is a pretty entertaining episode. It's just silly in concept, and it's like I appreciate that Mojo commits to the bit.
yes,
Because like you've got the tea scene, right, and then there's like hide and seek, and like the sequence where the girls like fly down to the lab and just like destroy everything and break everything is like probably the most action intensive moment of the episode until the very end.
Favorite music.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, it's fun to see the girls kind of like just destroy the lab. And like, it gets to the point where like they're ripping out drawers. They're melting stuff with their I-beams. They're just doing all this excessive stuff.
Right?
And it's like, yeah. And then it's like in the commentary when Bubbles is looking through the microscope, Mojo's like, why is she looking through the microscope? That doesn't even make sense. What is she doing?
But just like, I didn't even notice that Mojo pointed it out. That is
yeah. But it's like, how does any of that help them find Mojo? Like,
what the funny thing is?
I don't know. It's silly, but it's fun. I
just peeped a new joke in this. Like the professor's newspaper says riots and stuff is breaking.
Mm-hmm.
It's like pretty interesting. I think that's part of the joke. Yeah, it's just like I don't know why that sequence is satisfying. The glass breaking in this is so fun to look at and to hear. Yeah, my favorite Mojisha thing is him like running up to the room and laughing. Mm-hmm. That shot to me is just like the funniest thing in this episode.
Oh yeah.
That pin the tail in the donkey game is quite heinous.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a good misdirect.
Yeah, it is. Just the design of the donkey.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Gosh, what do you think of those two girls with the big eyes? I don't know if I like that.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Kind of weird, but I do like the shots of like just Mocho just being an idiot and just like playing dress up with the girls.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they're looking at a teen magazine basically, and it's just like the guys on staff. Which now that I'm pointing it out, okay, so I see Gendy. That's definitely Paul Rudish. I'm not sure who that blonde guy is. Maybe that's Mike Lazo.
I don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah, one of them might be Dong Chang. One is like one is Craig, and they're very unflattering caricatures.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing Craig must have worn an eBay shirt a lot. Yeah, and like I guess somebody could say something about like the show staff inserting themselves, but like these are very unflattering caricatures.
Mm-hmm.
Is kind of the joke. Like geez, yeah. And I love the drawing of the monkey is a lot of fun. It's just like
yes, that's a funny punchline. Yeah, it's a good punchline.
It's great. And all that dress up. What's your favorite thing they dress up as?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I do like Merch's the bride.
Yeah.
And they do like their little copper tone thing where like Bubbles is pulling on
Yep.
Yeah, on his bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I guess that's a reference that kind of disappeared. I think the last time I saw it was like on a SpongeBob movie poster. It's like I guess it's like a baby boomer reference. Yeah, gosh. Yeah. And also, yeah, very fun, like, party track. Kind of retro.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Mojo gets Antidote X. It's just like, it's very, yeah, very, very simple. But like, what it's really for is for the ending of the episode.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the final payoff. But I think it's a good, it's a good, and it's a nice, almost inspiring final payoff. It's like.
Well, yeah, the useless normal. Yeah. He's just really just just insulting them. They just had enough of it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the one girl like the hand on her hips, just like he's like how like the nerve of this guy. And I love they have they mix the party music but like make it more actiony.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very fun to listen to.
Yep.
And they kind of they do like the Powerpuff action sequence with like a lot of fast cutting and hits, but like they do it with pillows.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, when Mojo's doing his speech, like he's just rubbing it in. He's just really happy that there's no more that they're normal little girls. Like I just like he's like jumping in place. He's like, no more super speed or ice breath.
No more power punches. Definitely no more power punches.
Yeah. He's like useless, normal little girls who can't do anything because they're just like rubbing it in. Yeah, and Mojo on the commentary is very embarrassed about this. Like, all right, you could shut this off right here.
Yeah, turn it off now. You don't need to see the rest. It's over.
Very fun. And they even they get the girls get to look a little badass in the credits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
One of them is like feeling her muscles.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very fun episode. Yeah, we had less to say about it than the other one, but it doesn't mean we like it any less.
Yeah, no, it's still a fun episode, and it's got a lot going for it.
This is another one that was by Lindy.
Not to mention the fact that this episode actually got its own event on Cartoon Network. I think it was 2003. They did a Powerpuff Girls sleepover themed around this episode, which was interesting. So it was like they played Powerpuff Girls like all night long. I think on like a Friday or a Saturday night.
Adults would be
excuse me, all the way to like 3 or 4 a.m. or something, which was pretty cool. Yeah, I miss when Cartoon Network was fun and did that stuff 20 years ago.
And they had the confidence to know that some guy's gonna be watching Powerpuff Girls at 3 a.m.
I'm sure somebody did.
Of course, they had to know when they're programming that. Somebody is watching this at 3 a.m. It's like, what are you doing at 3 a.m. watching Octi Evil? That was a powerful marathon for somebody.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure marketing likes it. It's one of the girly episodes that they mm-hmm. That's the one. Yeah, they had like a song for the promos, and I believe Bubbles said something about world peace. And she said, if there was world peace, we would be out of a job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very fun.
Yeah, I don't remember any of the words, but I remember how the melody goes.
I remember Mojo's getting a French.
It's a pretty catchy song. Yeah, it's a catchy song. You can probably find it on YouTube
very easily. Yeah, I don't know what you'd have to search up. I guess Power Girls Sleepover promo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Yes, this is a very solid 2 episodes. Great season finale. I mean, like they weren't really thinking about these as season finales, so I don't think there was really like a big delineation between the seasons.
Mm-hmm.
But like satisfying if you're looking at it that way.
Yes, yeah, this was definitely a good pairing to kind of end things off.
Right.
So,
I mean, to be honest, do you want to talk about like just season 2 in general?
If you want to, we can wrap things up with a couple minutes. Yeah, in summary.
Yeah, so
I'm down with that.
How did your enjoyment increase any compared to season 1?
Honestly, like I've thought about this more and more, especially since finishing my video, and I feel like even though like season 2 has a lot of good episodes and a lot of okay episodes, like I really don't feel that other than Daylight Savings, because I just hate that episode. Every other episode in this season is good.
Yes. Yeah.
Some have some flaws and some are like not super memorable. Like I won't ever really go back to Pet Feud, but like there's nothing wrong with it. There's
nothing wrong with it. There's just not that much there.
Right. Whereas I feel like with season 1, like the first part of season 1 is definitely very, very season 1.
Right. Exactly.
It doesn't hit its stride until like I've always like for me it's always Boogie Frights is where it's
and like once again like we said it hits its stride early on more than other shows, I would say.
Yes.
It's not as rough as
but it's like when I look at the back half of season 1, I'm like, dang, there are more hits here than I really gave it credit for up until a couple years ago. There's a lot of good episodes in the back half of season 1 that I'm I'm almost tempted to say I like season 1 more because of all those hits. And again, season 2 has some hits too. Like, it's hard to say. I don't really want to rank all the seasons again until I've actually gone through all 6. So like, I can't say where I truly stand, if I would actually still say like season 1 is below 2, or if it's flipped. I want to definitely get through 3 and 4 at least, and then I know 5 and 6 are the bottom 2. You know, I really want to give all the seasons another shot first before I really settle on where I stand. But like, as a whole, like, I know we were joking about it earlier, but I do think that this season has changed my perception of Miss Keene to where she's a somewhat worse character in my eyes than she was, than I used to give her credit for. Because truth be told, she is wrong about stuff. Like, she is dumb. Like, I can't defend some stuff that she does.
Dead wrong.
So, but yeah, I mean, overall, the other thing I really liked about season 1 is I felt like season 1 had some more like standout things to it as far as like interesting techniques. Like, we talked about Speed Demon and some of the stuff they did with that episode, but I really loved like a lot of the creativity and like risks that season 1 took to really be experimental with, just visual techniques, whether it's lighting or shading or color or sound or, and, just stuff like that season 2 was fine. But I feel like there are a lot more episodes in this season that just feel sort of like standard, which that's not a bad thing.
I agree with that. Some of them do feel standard, especially the first, because like you were talking about the like the second half of season 1, but like I really feel like for season 2, like the back 5 or so, or like that's really what I think that's just like a high bar of quality throughout. So I really just like
but even
like,
with
on an art direction level and on like a writing level, it's like that seems like, like for some of these episodes for like the series like fully formed.
Yeah, and even then though, I mean, I still feel there's some
1.
episodes. Yeah, but I also feel that the first half of season 2 is stronger than the first half of season 1, and I feel that there are episodes in here that are still really good episodes. I definitely enjoy the Collect Her and Supper villain pairing. I definitely enjoy Beat Your Greens and Down and Dirty. I definitely enjoy Dream Scheme, You Snooze, You Lose. Those being in the first 5 versus, season 1. It's like, don't get me wrong. Like, I appreciate Insect Inside and Powerpuff Bluff and Monkey See and all that stuff, but they definitely feel early.
Exactly. It's just, it's not, they're not as good as they could be if they came out later.
Right. So that's where I haven't really decided.
I think Powerpuff Bluff is pretty good. Like, that's that's a standout for me. I guess I do like Fuzzy Logic, but
yeah. Do you have any more thoughts that you want to summarize on season 2 before we wrap up?
Not really than what I said. I just really like that like back half.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the best episodes.
Yeah.
Some of the best episodes they ever did.
Yeah, that's completely fair.
Yeah. And I enjoyed it, but I agree, there probably were some more standard episodes, especially as it started.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Some of the season.
Okay, cool.
They're still there.
Well, I think that'll just about do it for this one. So we'll go ahead and wrap things up here. So just to kind of end things off on a couple things. One, like I said, check out my season 1 and 2 videos. They're both up on my channel. We will be jumping into season 3 relatively soon. I'd like to be optimistic and make a prediction that, my season 3 video will be well into progress by the time you hear the season 3 podcast episodes, but I can't guarantee that because it's currently October of 2025, and who's to say? I've got 2 other video projects I want to work on, so we'll see. That aside, we are jumping into season 3 next episode when we're going to talk about Fallen Arches and the main event, the first episode of season 3, which I'm definitely looking forward to jumping into. So we'll definitely be doing that for sure. Look forward to that, of course. As always, feel free to check me out on YouTube. Check out the podcast on YouTube and Spotify, whichever one you're not listening to. If you prefer the other platform, you can switch to that one. So we're throwing that out there. Another reminder, be sure to leave questions in the comments of either platform, so that way we can answer them in future Q&A sections of our videos. I will let you know that because I put up a community post asking people for questions for our podcast, which I intend to use for season 3. Most of the questions we get on the podcast episodes will probably be several episodes into the future. So just because we don't answer any questions you put on this podcast on the very next episode doesn't mean it won't be answered eventually. It may even take an entire season to get to those questions, but please, by all means, ask them, and when we get to them, we will get to them. So, like I said, you can leave it either in the section on the Spotify episodes, or you can leave it on the YouTube comments of the video if you're watching or listening to the YouTube version. So definitely do that so we can bring back our Q&A section. Honestly, it's on us that we didn't really do a whole lot of that during the season 2 episodes. We were terrible about regularly recording and releasing these episodes, and that's completely on us. So now that we've recorded an entire bulk of season 2 and we're going to be doing season 3 consistently moving forward, hopefully that issue goes away and we can carry this podcast out without any more super long hiatuses. Fingers crossed, knock on wood, no guarantees, but that's the hope and the goal. So yeah. Do you have anything else you want to kind of wrap up, RJ, or are we good to call it here?
I just said in the middle while you're doing that, I said, can you hurry up? That was a joke, by the way, for the audience. We don't have any beef.
Oh, okay. I didn't even hear you. So like, that's how much your words matter to me. It's in one ear, not the other. I don't even listen.
Actually, never mind.
I'm kidding. I genuinely did not hear you though, but
yeah,
I don't mean that. No, I genuinely did not hear you, but that's okay. I was on a ramble. I was on a roll. I just wanted to get that all out. So, that being said, yeah, we're going to go ahead and call things here. So we will see you guys next time for Fallen Arches and the main event. Hope you enjoyed our season 2 run and are looking forward to diving into season 3. I know I definitely am. So until then, we'll see you guys in the next episode.
And so once again, the day is saved thanks to Miss Bellum and the Powerpuff Girls, the cuties of Townsville.